Words of Sri Aurobindo from the Collective Works of Sri Aurobindo, Volume 32, page 491, topic Nearness to the Mother and Progress in the Sadhana. Sri Aurobindo says early or late has nothing to do with what you call nearness. Some who were early and also some who are near to her see the mother only at pranam time physically. Some who are late have the occasion to see her every day because their work compels it. But they see her because of the work. The work was not given to them in order that they might be near. You have taken the thing by the wrong end, not for the first time. You are mistaken in thinking that you are the only one to ask with such persistence. There are others. Each one calls it a need, but when their need is freely given to them, they cease to value it, as happened with the soup and the pranam. And this shows that it is not a need but a desire. The principle of all sadhana is to fix the will not on desires, even if presented to the mind as needs, but on the realization only. Sri Aurobindo says, our object is the supramental realization, and we have to do whatever is necessary for that or towards that under the conditions of each stage. At present, the necessity is to prepare the physical consciousness. For that, a complete equality and peace and a complete dedication free from personal demand or desire in the physical and the lower vital parts is the thing to be established. Other things can come in their proper time. What is the real need now is not insistence on physical nearness, which is one of those other things, but the psychic opening in the physical consciousness and the constant presence and guidance there. I do not know what you mean by our wanting to use you for all practical purposes. We do not insist on your doing any work for us. It was you who asked for work, and we gave you what could be found for you. But we could not very well invent work with the express purpose of creating an occasion for physically meeting the mother. That has not been done for anybody. 16th Feb 1932. Question. People say that the sadhaks whom the mother calls for interview now and then and the sadhaks to whom she sends things personally are those who are very close to her and they progress rapidly in every way. What is the true in this? For the Sri Aurobindo says it's all nonsense. Some of the best sadhaks are among those whom the mother seldom or never calls, and she sends them nothing, nor do they expect it. They feel the mother always with them and are satisfied and ask for nothing else. Question. Is there any special effect of physical nearness to the mother? Sri Aurobindo says it is indispensable for the fullness of the sadhana on the physical plane. Transformation of the physical and external being is not possible otherwise. Question. Is it possible to receive the mother's help at a greater distance, say in Bombay or Calcutta, almost in the same way as here in the ashram? Sri Aurobindo says one can definitely receive it everywhere, and if there is a strong spiritual consciousness, one can make great progress. But experience does not support the idea that it makes no difference or is almost the same. Question. I want to be close to the mother. If I was close to her, the hostile forces would not attack me. Sri Aurobindo says you are quite mistaken. Among those who are physically near to the mother, there are some who have much worse attacks than you have ever had. It is the inner nearness that saves, not the physical nearness. Sri Aurobindo says it is the inner nearness that matters. The idea of the mind, quite natural of course, that the outer closeness is the sign of the relation of a special favor or the means of rapid progress is not borne out by experience. There are some who see the mother daily and are very little advanced from what they were years ago. There were others who got worse because it fostered the vital demand in them. On the other hand, there are quite some close to the mother and forward on the path and cherished by her who come to her only very occasionally, and I could instance one case in which there is an interview only once a year, yet there is no one who has made more rapid progress or in whom the love relation has grown to a greater intensity and fervor. In all these things, it is best to have an entire confidence in the mother and the light that guides her. Question: one who is called to see the mother often is fortunate because then one gets a chance to talk with her and to receive more light in her presence. Is it not so? For this, Sri Aurobindo says no. It depends entirely on the condition of the person and his attitude, especially if they insist on seeing her or on remaining when she wants them to go or are in bad mood and throw it on her. It is very harmful for them to see her. Each should be content with what the mother gives for them, for she alone feels what they can or cannot receive. Mental constructions of this kind and vital demands are always false. Sri Aurobindo continues to say, if one has the close inner relation, one feels the mother always near and within and round, and there is no insistence on the closer physical relation for its own sake. Those who have not this should aspire for it, not hanker after the other. If they get the outer closeness, they will find that it means nothing without the inner oneness and closeness. One may be physically near to the mother, yet as far from her as the Sahara Desert. Question: my dissatisfaction and inner struggle are constant. My eyes are constantly on the outer nearness of the mother, of which I have none at the moment, and I am left out completely. For this, Sri Aurobindo says, and if you had the physical nearness, you would be no happier or calmer. So as long as the inner being is unchanged, those who do physically approach her have just the same difficulties and struggles as yourself, and some have not even the experience of the peace that you have. Question: since all this is in me, it has been expressed. Now let it burn into ashes, never to rise again. Sri Aurobindo says it would be most foolish to call these meaningless delusion, for nothing can be farther from the actual and practical truth than to suppose that those who have a physical nearness to the mother or have frequently physical approach are happier or more satisfied than others. It is not the least truth. Or to allow it to prevent the progress of the inner peace. If you could only get rid of this delusion, nothing would be able to prevent the growth of the peace and the inner nearness which alone makes people in the ashram divinely happy. Happiness comes from the soul satisfaction, not from the vital or the body. The vital is never satisfied. The body soon ceases to be moved at all by what it easily or always has. Only the psychic being brings the real joy and felicity. Date September 8, 1934. These are the words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo.